Now watch this. Like you want to see, like this, like you want to see what's amazing? She didn't do it perfect. Watch this now. She had to get herself to Jesus. I'm talking like a rock star. He was surrounded by people jostling. The disciples said, what do you mean who touched you? They all touching you. They all trying to get into your presence. And this woman had to get from the edges of the fray all the way into the center where the main event was. So she had to get to work. And every step she took, she had to fight for it. And I promise you, sometimes she probably elbowed someone just a little bit harder because they in the way of her miracle, right? So she may not have followed perfect, but I promise you, her heart was turned perfect towards believing her God. And that is what he dares ask of us. He understands we may not follow him perfect. He understands that we may not get it all right, but he needs our heart turned perfectly to him. That is the gift that we have when we believe his word. That is what faith springs up in us, a heart daring to follow God, daring to have hearts turned towards him. Now, how am I going to explain this? Because I need you to see the difference between a perfect execution and a perfect heart. I think the best way I can do this is how it was presented to me when I read a book one time, right? So here was the premise of it. A man comes home from working. This is in the heat of summer, right? They had planted a garden early on, and it was now needing tending. Weeds were starting to grow up in it. And the man went to work in the morning, and the son, who loves his father, right, was home all day with mama. And mama and him, they had nothing else to do, but the son wanted to honor the father. He had a heart towards his father, right? And he was going to do something great for Papa. He was going to go weed the garden so that when Daddy got home after work, he didn't have to go out there and break his back. It would already be done for him. He had a perfect heart towards his father. But the son, young as he was, as naive as he was, as innocent as he was, couldn't tell the weed from the corn. Like it was just a small sprout up of corn. It looked just like a weed. So as he was tending the garden, he pulled up the crop along with the weed. He didn't even know he did it wrong. Until Dad got home, went out and to see all handyman's work because the son was beaming with pride. He was so happy. He ran to Dad when he came in the driveway and he said, Papa, I got you. I did something amazing for you. He had a perfect heart towards his father. And the father was escorted out to the garden and he saw his whole crop ruined. And the father loved the son in that moment. Now the boy didn't do it perfect. Now he got 90% of the garden right, but the corn was gone, right? But the father saw the son's heart towards him. And he couldn't be mad at him. He had to pick him up and love on him because that son did an amazing thing. He had a perfect heart, even though his execution wasn't perfect. And that's what I want to encourage you with today. You ain't going to do it all right. Dad already knows. But your heart can be right towards him. This woman, she got to Jesus. Oh, believe me, she got to Jesus. She may have not done it all right, but her heart was turned perfect towards him. And that's what our heart needs to be with God. And we need to give ourselves some grace because you ain't going to do it perfect. I promise you. You ain't God. But you can have a perfect heart towards your Heavenly Father, towards your Creator, that you long to please Him, to bless Him. Even if you don't do it right, He sees the intent of the heart.